All right, so I hope I'm in frame. I had to turn my iPad around because apparently, whenever I do these videos, what happens is you guys see things backwards. So I was told that if I turn the iPad around, you can see me fine. So whenever I show a movie up, I'm going to do one just to show you guys. This should show right. Unfortunately, I can't keep it like this, and I'll tell you why. See, when I do this, and I gotta see how to. I can't see your comments. Hey there. So for right now, welcome back, Savannah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to do this one, and I'm going to have to be backwards for a little bit until I can figure out how to do it so that I can still see your comments on screen, because this is live and takes it away from the live experience if I can't talk to you guys. Anyway, so tonight I decided that if I'm going to do like updates, collections, and all that type of stuff, one of the coolest ways to do it, one of the best ways I can think of do that is, rather than just like pre-tape it and show you, okay, I got this or I got this or I got this, and just talk about it a little bit, is basically to kind of just show you some stuff. I never answered your email? Oh, okay. Let me check that. I haven't checked my email in a few days now. I've had a sick kitty cat, just so you guys know. That's why the other night I came down here and I made a 12-minute video. I was going to make like a big, like longer, kind of epic Father's Day type of video, Father's Day weekend video. But my cat is not feeling well, so we're taking her to the vet tomorrow, and hopefully she should be okay. I'll keep you updated on that. But that pretty much took precedent over pretty much everything. So, Savannah, I will check the email tonight. Remind me at the end of this video. Remind me. I'm taking my kitty to the pet store, to the vet tomorrow, and I'm a little bit nervous. So, okay. Anyway, let's start off. I'm going to start showing you guys some stuff. I'm going to show you my Slasher Classics collection from 88 Films. We can talk about it, and as I go through them, you guys can ask me about ones that either you've got, comment on them, or ones that you're kind of curious about. Because one thing I can say that I do pretty much try and watch all of my movies. So that's always a plus when you're doing this. But before that, I thought I'd give you a bonus. What I'm going to do is, since, well, Scream Factory just ended their sale, and Vinegar Syndrome just announced their monthly package, which I'll mention a little bit later, I'll show you my Synapse collection, which has nothing to do with any of that. I just thought I'd swerve you because, I don't know, because I used to watch 90s wrestling, and swerving was all it was about back then. Anyway, so with the Synapse stuff, this is some of my favorite stuff, actually. They put in a lot of good stuff. So first up is Prom Night. You know, Prom Night is a classic exploitation film with Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, and the great Leslie Nielsen in a serious role, kind of a red herring-y type of role. If you haven't seen the movie Prom Night, it's really good. It's a little slower, based on like the slashers that will come later on, and it's kind of like tame and a lot of less blood and stuff than you would see later. But it's got that amazing Prom Night, Everything's Alright song that you get stuck in your head for days and days and days. If anybody's seen Prom Night, here. Now, if you've only seen like the other versions, like the older DVD versions or anything like that, watching Prom Night Synapse edition of this is actually it's a revelation. I own very many copies of Prom Night. I've got like at least 2 Anchor Bay ones. I've got a Prom Night all Canadian set with all 4 Prom Nights, including Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2, which is kind of fun, and and of course there's Prom Night 3. Hey, from Wisconsin. Hey, there, reality is an illusion. It is, isn't it? Welcome. We're talking Synapse first, and then we're going to get into some 88 Film Slasher Classics collections. Hopefully that's something you guys are interested in. Any Prom Night fans in here? You got to have the Synapse version. This is the ultimate edition. Prom Night 3 was called Last Kiss. It was a movie. And that's about what I can say for that. Prom Night 4, actually, although it was set on a prom night, has them driving past the prom night and not going to it at all. And I'll think the Echo Bridge DVD of Prom Night was PAL Source. So Echo Bridge has a lot of problems with some of their stuff. Tim, I had an Echo Bridge one once. I think it was like a Halloween one, and it had like almost like one of those burn type of like menus. It didn't even look like a real menu on it. It was weird. It was strange. I do have some Echo Bridge in my collection though. It's like it goes back and forth on the quality of it or not. But Prom Night. There's some great features on here as well, and as you can tell, if you can read backwards, and there is the lovely Jamie Lee Curtis. And as much as a state of undress as you would see her in, until of course Trading Places. Echo Bridge is a budget label, so they really like do everything cheaply. Yeah. What do I think the new Halloween movie trailer? You must be new. I'm a huge fan of the new Halloween movie trailer. A huge fan, and I want to see Halloween done right. And this looks like Halloween done right. So we'll see. Next up is a classic film. Excellent. You too. That I think everybody has seen and must own in their collection. Sorceress. Sorceress is actually a Linda Blair film with Julie Strain, and it's a ton of nudity. Really, it's one of those like kind of like softcore-y, sexploitation-y type of films. Not like the real serious ones, but done around the time when a lot of these were being done. And I'm a huge Linda Blair fan. So I will buy anything that Leland Blair is in, though I did get a kick out of this one back in the day. This is the uncensored director's cut, and who's directed this one again? Yeah. Okay, so this is directed by Jim Wynorski. Anybody here that knows who Jim Wynorski is, you know what you're going to get. Jim Wynorski did a lot of really cool movies. He did movies like Chopping Mall. Jim Wynorski also did the Bear Wench Project in about 3 days. There's a documentary. You might want to check it out. Fun little film. Next up is a classic, and I'm not joking this time. It is Maniac Cop. This is a favorite of mine, of course. Bruce Campbell. There's so much machismo in this film. It's almost an overload. Yeah, Bruce Campbell. You got Tom Atkins in here as well. We got like Richard Roundtree, William Smith, Robert Z'Dar, of course, as the titular character of Maniac Cop, doing a fantastic job. Actually, I didn't know, but he actually dated Lauren Landon, who acts in the movie, and apparently he's kind of like a really cool guy. You love that movie, Maniac Cop. You do? See, I've got this on so many versions. Savannah, I've got this one, and I got like an Arrow drone version as well. And down the road, Arrow Video, the company in the UK, they put out a Maniac Cop as well on the Arrow edition, and I'm probably going to have to buy that too, because I think there's an extra interview. I need that. Maniac Cop's a fantastic little film, and if you haven't checked it out, it really is one to watch. It never got released on Australia. I really thought Cult Cinema would do that. Like your new place, it looks more like there's more room. Actually, that's a little deceptive. I'm not sure if there's more room, as more as it's like better laid out. I have like my TV stuff, like all my TV shows, it's a complete own room, and the VHS is going to be popped there as well. I actually just went to IKEA this weekend, and I picked up a new glass shelf to house some of my other bigger sets in. Now let's get into some of the classic stuff from Synapse. And this first one is one of my favorite Hammer films of all time, and that is Vampire Circus. If you're a fan of Doctor Who, then you probably know who Layla Ward is. She was the second girl to play Romana, and she was actually married to Tom Baker, who played the fourth Doctor for a time. Layla Ward is in this film here. Vampire Circus is part of the Karnstein trilogy, and I really like it. About the new Tomb Raider 4K too, but I need to get the Tomb Raider one. Tomb Raider one came out last week. This week, Pacific Rim Uprising came out. I was going to pick some up today, and my better half was like, why don't you pick it up? And I'm, let's wait till after the vet, see what kind of damage that's going to do. Then we'll see if we can pick it up or not, or maybe we can wait another week. Priorities, I guess. Man, I'm getting older, I guess. But anybody here like Vampire Circus? One of Hammer's classic films, and this is a beautiful cover. This has some great features on it as well. It even has the comic book for Vampire Circus on here as a kind of as a feature. I got a comment. Next up is another classic in the Karnsteins. Oh, Polly, you really should see it. Strangers Pray at Night on Blue on eBay. I love Strangers Pray at Night. It's not like Strangers. Don't go and think it's like Strangers. Understand, it's an 80s slasher homage. Strangers was really dark and like kind of a more serious, like home invasion type of film. They just like, you know, when they made like Evil Dead and it was scary, and then they made Texas Chainsaw Massacre scary, and they went in different ways. Love the movie, so good. I need more movies like that one coming out. Strangers Pray Night's really good. Just understand it's not The Strangers. Twins of Evil. So I'm a huge fan of this one. Again, Peter Cushing, and I love Peter Cushing. He kind of he does his Peter Cushing thing, and as I get older, I think I'm going to look more like Peter Cushing. I hope. My pop actually looked like, kind of had a Peter Cushing-y look to him. Rest in peace. Now, Twins of Evil is a really good one. What's really cool on this one is there is a full-length, 84-minute documentary called Flesh and the Fury. And it talks about, not just about about this movie, but talks about the whole, like, Carmilla story, like, in literature and film, and it's really, really good, and it's really extensive. It's about the length of the film itself, so it's a great feature to have. As you can see, they do a lot of really different covers. Okay, I got to cover this up a bit. This is Hands of the Ripper. This is kind of like a psychological thriller, and not as raunchy as the title would make you, as the cover would make you think it is. There's like a cover where there's no nudity at all on it. There's a cover that has some nudity, which is being covered by my finger right now. But it is a great little film, and definitely stands the test of time, in my opinion. Though, understand, it is a bit of a period piece. It is Hands of the Ripper, so that kind of helps it stand the test of time. When you've got a movie that's already set in like kind of a Gothic or 18th, 17th century type of thing, you've already got like it's already a period. I've seen the movie called Creepers. It's 1980s, 90s horror movie. Creepers. I've seen a couple movies called Creepers. Now, one movie called Creepers, actually I showed on here, it's Phenomenon, done by Dario Argento, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. That one starred Jennifer Connelly and Donald Pleasence, and it was like actually a really good movie, but that was a cut-down version of it. But which Creepers are you talking about? Because there's a couple with that name, and I'm a fan of like of that. So again, pardon the censorship, but this is Countess Dracula, which is also not half as nude as this thing would make you think, but it has the amazingly beautiful Ingrid Pitt. Have I seen Creep? I have seen Creep and Creep 2. I love them both. I like Creep 2 just a bit better. I think that by the time Creep 2 is made... Oh, it is the movie? It's actually a Phenomenon as well. Creepers is the American title. But Creep and Creep 2, the more recent films, by the time he did the second one, he really had the character down pat, and it shows in the acting and the way it's done. And the girl that's in the second one actually comes across does an even better job, I find, than the guy in the first. Not that the other guy was bad. It's just it was a different dynamic. Pre-order Universal Monster Collection, 30 films on Blue for $150. Comes out late this year. That is a really cool looking set. If you notice, they originally put that on DVD, and they only put out a few of them, but now they're putting the whole set on Blu-ray. I'm hoping it goes down in price so that I can pick it up. I got all of them on like DVD, and I got the Blu-ray set from Universal in the UK with the coffin box set, but I would love to have them all on Blu-ray, and I would kind of hope they put some more features in there. I think they're just going to Blu-ray transfer them over, but I'm hoping for a few more features, even though, let's be honest, those Universal sets, they're stacked with features. There's like a ton of features on them. Document of the Dead. The Roy Funkus, I think I got that right. Documentary about Dawn of the Dead. What's really cool about this one is actually there was a time in my life when I didn't have, it wasn't doing so well when it came to money wise, and I couldn't buy movies or anything like that. I was going to the library. So many movies with different titles in different countries. What does your edition look like, Aaron? My edition of Phenomenon? Oh, I'll show you. This is going to help actually because it is the old Arrow edition. So it is Phenomenon. This is the cover that a lot of people see for Phenomenon. This is also Phenomenon, and this is the other title you see it under, Creepers. That's kind of neat. I'm a huge Argento fan. I'm usually like a Fulci Argento. I'm a big Italian horror fan, so if you guys are big into Italian horror, then keep watching my channel because you're going to see a lot of that stuff on here. A lot of Giallo, a lot of the Polizzi, well, the stuff I can pronounce, spaghetti westerns, all that type of stuff. You know what really bugs me? I'm so like, which movie did I like better, Strangers or Strangers Prom Night? Cool, mine looks different than yours. I like to see what yours looks like, actually. I like them both different for different reasons, but can I be honest, like completely? I actually enjoyed this. This is going to seem like sacrilege to some people. I enjoyed The Strangers Prom Night a little bit more because I'm an 80s slasher fan and like the homage. And to be totally honest with you, I found the characters in the original Strangers like a wee bit unlikable. And I think that's kind of what they're going with the Strangers films, is that they're kind of broken. The relationships are kind of broken. In the second movie, you get that as well. You get kind of the broken relationship. But I like the family dynamic a bit more in the sequel than I did in the original. Plus, I'm an 80s slasher fan, so I kind of slant towards that. I do like the home invasion movies. But I lived in the country for a year last year, and I found those movies kind of bothered me a bit then because I was kind of out on my own. And I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it again. But at this point, Strangers Prom Night is newer in my mind. I got to see it in theater, and I really enjoyed myself. So for now, we'll go with that one. I may change my mind when I watch Strangers again when I get the Scream Factory Collector's Edition, though. Enjoyed the second one a little more as well. It was more exciting and fun. It was. And didn't he come off like almost like Jason Voorhees at the end? One of my top 3 favorite horror franchises. That's actually really easy. They're probably the top 3 horror franchises of all time. They're not really. Friday the 13th is my top horror franchise of all time. I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. I grew up as a kid in the 80s, and they were kind of the thing. Halloween was probably number 2, and I would like to say, I like to like buck the trend and say something like Phantasm or something like that, but I did grow up in the 80s, and so really it was probably, as boring as it's going to sound, it's probably Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't mean like the series is boring. I mean like that's a pretty boring answer. That those were the top 3 horror franchises that just happened to be the top 3. It's just we did get inundated with them, and I really did like them. Now there are a lot of other horror franchises I like, and some that I think get kind of a bad rap. And one of these days I'll get into that. The way he busted that truck on fire, he felt like an ominous killer, much like Jason or Michael. And I don't think they're dead. I think spoiler alert, they try to kill him off, but. I see something in the future. I see like more of those films. Jackman Today, a documentary, and it was at the time I was going to the library a lot, and I suddenly found out there was a whole movie section in the library that I didn't know about before, and I started like renting like these VHS, and one of the ones I rented was Document the Dead. They will let the gold mine of a series just die. It depends on what it did. If it did well, they'll do more. If it didn't do totally well, they're going to wait a couple years before they do another one. But yeah, I watched this one over and over again. It was probably one of the movies that I got to see a lot when I didn't have the money in the cash to buy stuff. I mentioned this one in my last video, I think, and it's Curtains. Curtains is one of the best exploitation films out there. I really love this film. It is a combination of a slasher and a giallo mixed together into a blender with a... Hey, Movie Mac. Nice to see you here. I'm still envying your trip to Las Vegas coming up in August. So, isn't this an awesome cover? And the killer mask in this. I'm not going to lie, it does creep me out. So that's not like a person's face, that's a mask. And it's a weird mask. It freaks me out. It's only seen in one scene in the movie, during the ice skating scene. but it stands out. Hey, Ben's Film Reviews, how's it going? We're doing Synapse, and then we're doing Slasher Classics Collection. A director that I really like, and I think I like even more now that I've seen like documentaries and commentaries that he's done. He really impresses me, and that is Frank Henenlotter. And Frankenhooker, it's a favorite of mine. I really dig this film. Want a date? It's a crazy movie about a guy whose fiance gets killed in a freak lawn mowing accident. And I think it's a lawn mowing accident. I can't remember it. And he has to bring her back to life. But in order to do that, he has to kill a bunch of ladies of the evening and put her together to make kind of like a Frankenstein version of her, Frankenhooker. Unfortunately, she still has the lady of the evening attributes as well, and it's a different film. It's got a wicked ending, and check out Frankenhooker if you have not seen it. It is a really cool, classic Henenlotter film. Do I own the Friday the 13th tin Blu-ray, or did you get the 8-film collection that recently came out? Good question. I got the 8-film collection that recently came out. Did you know that I didn't like the tin? I really didn't like the look of it. So I hemmed and hawed about it and thought if the tin goes down cheap enough, I'll get it. Have I seen the movie called Spring Breakers? I love Spring Breakers. I'm looking forward to my trip, but I miss Blu-ray shopping. I can't spend too much. I know how you feel. I did too. I didn't like the tin either. Yeah, see, there's the thing. I didn't like the tin. I have the old like DVD edition with the little mask, with the mask in it. Of course, it slides. You got to be careful with slipping it out because you can get scratches and scuffs on there. So when the option to buy like all the movies that are good, the Paramount ones, on Blu-ray in a set for like $20, yeah, I jumped on that, and that way I can keep my my DVD edition there, nice and pristine, and watch the Blu-rays when I want to. They have all the features on them. Last but not least, in the Synapse is a slasher. I wanted to end the Synapse on a slasher, and this is a dark slasher. Love the movie. Time to be buying the digibook of that movie from eBay sellers. Yeah. Oh, Spring Breakers is really good. It's one of those movies that's not at all what the trailer makes it look to be. It's way better. Way better. The Dorm That Dripped Blood. I really dig this film. It has a dark ending, man. This has a really dark ending. The other title for this movie I think is called Pranks, which kind of makes sense. I'm pretty sure it's called Pranks. Oh, it was also called Death Dorm. But love the cover. It was a great edition, early Synapse one that I got. And they actually have a different, like, it was called Pranks too, yeah. See, it's got a different cover. Oh, thanks a lot. Hopefully I will get more subscribers down the road. But the one thing I will say is that I might not have as many subscribers as, like, you know, some other bigger YouTubers out there, but I feel I got great quality subscribers, and that's what counts. Totally sucking up to right now, but it's true. I do. I love the interaction. That's why I've taken to doing my videos live, to interact and talk more one-on-one with you guys, so we can all talk in a group. We can all talk to each other. People can meet people on here. And last time I was here, Savannah actually got to see Andrew, and Andrew is also from Australia, and he has his own channel as well. And people that come in here, feel free to pimp your channel, by the way. Quality over quantity always. Thanks a lot. So horror is your fave genre in films. What is your second favorite? Film noir. Hands down, film noir. We all love your Aaron. Oh, thank you. I feel loved now. Okay. Just you guys know how special I think you guys are. When I brought up the Slasher Classic Collection, that means I had to bring up a movie that's cover freaks me out. So this is number 2 in the DVD of Slasher Classics. I understand, Movie Mac. Right back at you, dude. Alice, Sweet Alice, otherwise known as Communion. Otherwise known as a half dozen other different titles, but mostly Alice, Sweet Alice, and Communion. I think it was called Holy Terror. Yeah, Holy Terror as well. Have I bought any Shout Selects? I have Nighthawks from Shout Select, and exactly, holy terror. And I have like a couple others. I'll show my Shout Select ones here and I'm going to do like a Scream Factory video. I've not yet watched this film, but I mean, I was thinking, yes, this is, isn't that creepy? This is one of Brooke Shields, I think this is Brooke Shields' first film role. It's a short film role. I'm not going to, spoiler alert, she dies in the first 5 minutes. But it's a really good film, and it's got a good little twist at the end. And it's one of those covers that freak me out. Look at that. And you know why it freaks me out? Because the killer has this like transparent mask thing. And I'm not going to lie, transparent mask kind of freaked me out a bit. Love them. Kind of freaked me out a bit. Love Alice Sweet House. It's a complete blind buy, but I thought it was great. It is a great film. I think it's, is it Alfred Soul? Yeah, Alfred Soul did this. There's a documentary called like, kind of like Pieces, something. Also a film noir. Yeah, I often get asked what my favorite film noir movie is, and that goes back and forth. But I know that A Narrow Margin is one of the one of the top ones that I enjoy. I'm actually trying to look over at my film noir set there to see. Usually, it's pretty. If you got like Robert Mitchum, I really love it. Oh, Experiment in Terror on Blue. That's a fantastic film. Did you get the edition that came out from Alfred Soul? Tanya's Island. Is that out yet? Please don't say Code Red, but put it out. But I wouldn't mind having Tanya's Island Vanity. Twilight Time. You got Twilight Time edition. Yeah, because there's two editions. Twilight Time did it, and of course probably Indicator did as well. Because Indicator's been doing a lot of Twilight Time stuff lately. If you've ever seen the company out of the UK called Indicator, great stuff. Hey, 13th Wolfman. Welcome back, dude. Love the movie Alice Sweet House. Was also known as Communion and Holy Terror in other parts. Unholy Terror. There we go. Unhinged. This was recently remade. I have not yet seen the remake, though. A friend of mine on here, Mark Stewart, you've probably seen him actually doing comments in some of these live videos, actually has seen the new one, actually recommended it. How many digibooks do you own? Do you have Spring Breakers in your collection? I don't own Spring Breakers. I wish I did, actually. Hey, House of Blues, how's it going? Long time, man. I've gone live. I've gone Commando, doesn't make sense. Gonzo, I guess you want to go with it. Totally Gonzo. Unhinged, that was recently remade. Did anybody see the remake of this? I've heard it's okay. Now, the original Unhinged, pretty slow. Not my favorite film, but it was part of the collection, so I got it. Jeff Films put it out, so it's just a VHS rip. Isn't Jeff Films kind of like maybe the most legit? They kind of do. Is it the company I'm thinking of? They put out like a bunch of like special releases. Maybe it's the different company, but there is one company that has a similar name to that, and they put out stuff that really isn't out on, which usually comes out like to be like rips. I remember I bought one. I'm not sure if it's from Jeff Films or something like that. What time is it there in the province you're in? It's 1:29 right now, so I should probably be in bed, but I can't sleep. I'm a night owl, so I decided I'm going to make a video for you guys. I owed you guys. I was going to make a bigger Father's Day weekend video, and sickness in the cat family stopped it. But Graduation. Has anyone seen a movie called The Spring Break Murders? Ooh, that sounds familiar. I think I've seen that. It's 11:29 there. It's earlier there. My job that I work in, I have to deal with mostly with the U.S. Pretty much exclusively. What movie from your youth are you still waiting to come out in the horror realm? Huh, that's a good question. I'll know tomorrow. I got one cat that's sick, Polly, and got to take him to the vet tomorrow. So fingers crossed, she's seeming better. My favorite that's not out yet. A lot of the stuff that I really wanted to come out came out. Like there was stuff like really like randomly rare stuff that I never thought was going to come out, like Blood Harvest, that came out. But there's a ton of it, but I wish I could remember. Movie Max 12:30 we're at. Graduation Day is Vanna White, Waiting for Blood Beach. Blood Beach was the first movie my dad ever saw on VHS, actually. Graduation Day does have Vanna White. I think she was kind of a last-minute addition, or her or Linnea Quigley was, because Linnea Quigley is also in this as well. And I think one may have been added for the other. 13th Wolfman gets to speak to some of these like people. You've spoken to some of the Scream Queens. So when the U.S. has holidays, do you? No, I wish. The only thing I can hope for is because people call me. I hope that, hey, maybe it's a holiday. Maybe so many people won't call me now. It don't happen that way, man. It doesn't happen that way. But Graduation is a classic. This is one that you should own. It's a cool film. It has a really kind of different like heroine in it. Pretty ahead of the time. Did you enjoy horror movies made for younger audiences? Oh, I love The Monster Squad. The Monster Squad is my jam, man. The Monster Squad, and I love The Gate. The Gate's fantastic. Graduation Day for the first time. Did you watch for the first time? Did you like it? It's kind of it's a bit of an odd duck, but I really enjoy it. But this edition here has a documentary on Scream Queens on it called Scream Queens Horror Heroines Exposed. Oh, this is a really good edition. This, if you got like a region free player, then this one here, because I think Vinegar Syndrome put it out in the in North America, but this is the one here that has like a 80-minute documentary on it. Monster Club. Yeah, I'm a big Pete Walker fan, and Pete Walker did Monster Club. I don't have it yet in my collection. I was actually going to get it during this Kino sale. We had like a bunch of things put in our cart. Oh, Slasher Classics Collection. Actually fairly cheap, usually. Check out Amazon UK for them. Yeah, the Slasher Classics Collection, Savannah, all have red cases. So you're going to notice that. It's kind of cool, actually. You love red cases? Check out Slasher Classics Collection. You're going to see more of this stuff. Don't worry. This one has a full, like, 90-minute documentary on there. Next up in the Slasher Classics Collection is Mother's Day. Birdman in a red case. I think I got that one. I like Birdman, actually. And it did deserve the Oscar. This is a cool little one. This is actually it's from Troma, but it's actually... I don't want to say Troma doesn't like put out quality films, because I love Troma stuff, but this is more of a straightforward film, I guess. The actors are really good in it, especially the girl who plays the mother. And the ending is actually kind of cool. The little twist that you kind of see coming, then forget about it, and then it happens, and you're like, whoa. But this, again, it has a bunch of fantastic features on here as well. If you don't have any 88 Films Slasher Classics collection, you should check them out. Both 88 Films have their own website. 88 Films have a Shopify, and you can also get them on Amazon. You spoke to Linnea Quigley. Oh, dude, do you know the crush I've got on Linnea Quigley? If you ever... You can tell her. Watch my channel. But Mother's Day, it's a favorite. It is really a favorite of mine. This one, I really like. HDVDs used to come in red cases. Yeah, a few of them did, actually. But it has more of a burgundy case. Kind of like a burgundy style case. And which is kind of red, so it counts. But I got to get... It's the only format I don't own, really, anything of, is an HD DVD player. So that's something I got to get down the road. I got to get a Betamax, too, down the road as well. I'm kind of getting all the formats. If you looked over there, you'll notice that I got like a Laserdisc and VHS. When it comes to film knowledge, I always thought you and Dean of DVD were the best. I know Dean DVD is taking a break from YouTube. Dean's actually is a really nice guy, and I've talked to them. Channel Dawnstar. Actually, I know both those guys. They are, both actually really nice guys, and I've got to talk to them like outside of here. I haven't spoken to Channel Dawnstar in a while. Not Dean either, but when I get to chatting, like they're both like extremists. I sent like Dean a DVD, actually a video one year when he was getting into horror. I sent him like a Blu-ray, and it was like a Lucio Fulci 3-pack. I just hope that Cervantes Must Die will get a Blu-ray. Didn't it get a Blu-ray? Maybe that was did Arrow put that out, or 80? I think 80 Films put it on DVD, right? I thought Arrow put that out. I'd have to look into it. Then again, they maybe only put it on DVD. You could be right about that. But yeah, that'd be a fun one for Blu-ray. This one. Are you ready for this one? Pointy sticks are dangerous. This movie will tell you how dangerous. Don't go in the woods alone. I love this movie. It is so bad. This is bafflingly bad. but in a really good way. In like, oh my God, what the hell am I watching? I can't stop watching this. I have to get friends to see this. I'm going to have to sit through this again. That's the type of baffling bad Don't Go in the Woods Alone is. With a twist ending. I was going to go to bed, but I've stayed up till 5 more minutes till midnight here. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a few more to go through. If you don't want to watch it live, you can check it out in the replay later on. I'm going to try and archive this and put it on here. It's been really great talking to you, by the way, if you got to go to bed. So I apologize. But this one, it's fun. I mean, look at the features that they put on other stuff. If you've never seen the 88 films, it is. But some people do find this one a bit dull. Movie Mac finds it a bit dull. 13th Wolfman likes this one. I thought it was cool. I mean, like, it's very different. Did you know that I put my phone down about 10 minutes ago, and Siri's been doing this. Question time: do you buy most of your movies online, or it's a shop where you live? I buy these are from the UK. I bought most of those in a shop, actually, because I was in London. And 88 Films had a sale going on the time that I was there. But unfortunately, I have to buy most of mine online. I don't like to do that. I like to buy them in shops. When I went to, if you saw my video here a few nights ago, and I think you did, then you know that I picked up a Reanimator, and I picked up Full Moon High at the local Sunrise Records, because I got out there and it was a bit more expensive, but I want to support shops that are doing stuff like that. They have many movie shops in the UK. They got some better movie shops in the UK. So for UK Blu-ray companies, there's Arrow and what else? You want Arrow, 88 Films, Second Sight, Shameless for Jallows. Used to do reviews for 88 Films, and they have great I watch your reviews for 88 Films. You actually, 13 Wolfman, were some of the videos that I'd watched in order to know which films I wanted to pick up from the 88 Films collection. Just so you know that. And he did awesome, by the way, with those. Ashley, I love 88. Hey there, 88 Films. They were the first company I did a large order from when I got my region free player. Yeah, they do great stuff. I'll do a whole video. I talked about like UK. Check out those websites. No, that's awesome stuff. Arrow's got great stuff. Check out Amazon. And there's some companies, 101 Films, put some stuff out. Indicator. How could I forget Indicator, Tim? You know I'm a huge fan of them. A lot of the Twilight Time stuff that got like super expensive, Indicator put out. Do they ship internationally free? Not usually. Though I think that some of them have better shipping than others. Another question: do you still buy DVDs if they're not released on Blu-ray? I love DVDs. I do. I buy DVD and Blu-ray, and I will buy. When I first started buying Scream Factory, even though there's Blu-rays available, I bought DVDs first because I love the artwork on the Scream Factory stuff. Hey, Bones and Necrozoo, welcome back. You're killing it, Persian. All those titles bring back VHS memories. Oh, there's more coming up like that. Like the classic Splatter University. It's really cheesy. You're going to know who the killer is. I mean, probably 5 minutes in, you're going to know who the killer is. Because they make a point of like, I'm not the killer. Shameless, dude. I've talked about Shameless and Jello one. It's an awesome company. You said that already, but I have not heard anything from them in a while. That's probably because 13 Wolfman Shameless lost their distribution company, and they're gone over to Arrow. So Arrow's now distributing Shameless's work. So more than likely, there's kind of a shuffle going on. I'm hoping that this Shameless Arrow connection is going to finally give us the Four Flies and Grey Velvet one that we want. The old movies, The Slayer. I like The Slayer. I still buy DVDs. My PC will only play DVDs. That's why I actually buy some. Do I own The Slayer? I don't own The Slayer. There's so many movies I need. I think, I've got a lot here. But the worst thing, I guess the worst thing about being a collector sometimes is you don't see just what you got. You see the holes in what you don't got. And, not intentionally a comedy, Tim. There are some aspects in it that are that kind of humorous. Blockbuster days. I miss the mom and pop shops. Blockbuster, pretty good too. They censored a few things, but I do miss them. I used to have a lot of friends that worked in Blockbuster, and I used to go there a lot. I was one of those guys that people would come up and ask for movie advice when I was at Blockbuster because they thought I worked there. That's because I spent a lot of time there. But this one here, Spider University, actually has a second film on it. It is really cheesy. It's fun though, but just know it's cheesy going in. Errol put it in nice. Oh yes, I know. Errol put it a really good edition of the Slayer, and it is such a cool looking cover too, isn't it? Another good movie that a lot of people don't know, grab, that haven't grabbed yet, is a Scalpel, and I got to get that one too. Found a video renting store here, and I may check it out soon. Video renting stores are awesome, Polly, and I always like going and just see. And every once in a while, they sell stuff as well, and you get some cool stuff there. But actually has a second film here as well. It's the worst thing with being a collector. You think you have the most of the stuff off your list, but then you look at the list and see you're not even close. So true. My better half was like, be glad for what you got. And I'm like, yes, but there's other stuff I don't have. But yeah, there's an extra film on here. Did I like The Witch or The Babadook? I like them both. They're different. They're slower. They're more psychological, especially The Babadook. And some people, I know that some people didn't like The Babadook because they didn't like the way that the mother was portrayed, and I get that, but I thought it was good. I actually enjoyed the Babadook. I watched it on the airplane coming back from Ontario. Actually, like the Babadook, not so much The Witch. It was okay. Like they're both slower. They're both kind of slow burns. The Babadook was better for me than The Witch. Did you watch The Ritual? I think I did. Is that the one? If it's the one I'm thinking about, I did. Is that? So we've all. Polly also says The Witch was pretty slow. So I think we're pretty much in like saying that The Witch was a fairly slow film. So the other film on here is What Frightens Me, and actually, it's supposed to be better. The Ritual's a new one on Netflix. I wonder if I've seen it or not. It does sound familiar though. It's like I have. Oh my God. So this happened again. My serie came up and I started talking, and it started like writing down every word I was saying. It's kind of creepy. It's like Siri stalking me. Don't Siri, don't. Slaughterhouse. Also out from Vinegar Syndrome. A lot of you guys have this one. What is an axe to grind? A big axe. Did I watch the new Twin Peaks show? Yes. It took me a while to get into it. I went into it expecting Twin Peaks from the 80s, early 90s when I was watching it, and it was kind of like everybody talked about it type of thing. He purposely didn't do that. He made a very different show. Not a lot of actual Twin Peaks when you really think about it, but it was twisted. It was very Lynchian. I did end up loving it, but he gave you a challenge to watch. I'm going to get the 4K release of Christine. Heck yeah. I got the recent Sony Blu-ray release, and I was really glad that Sony got it away from Twilight Time, actually, because I know Twilight Time is going to charge me a fortune for it. So, yeah. Any 4K horror that's coming out there, I'm going to try, if it's good at all, I'm going to try and support it. We need more horror on 4K. I got a 4K, a small 4K collection of around 41 titles. Slaughterhouse. Anybody a fan of Slaughterhouse? I just noticed that I actually wore like a red shirt, and this wasn't on purpose, but it goes with the movie boxes. Next up is another classic, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, 13th Wolfman. I somehow knew you love Slaughterhouse. I dig it. It's a really cool film. Since the 70s there. Christine's a classic. Sony took it back from Twilight Time. It's a title that actually sells a shitload of copies. It is. Twilight Time actually, I'm surprised that they got Fright Night the second time, because that was such a huge selling title for them. Sony didn't realize what they had, and I hope they do, and I hope they start doing it. Gunnar Hansen, you're right. I actually met Gunnar Hansen Movie Mac, and he was a really, really sweet guy. The bonus feature, you know about the bonus feature? So, Linnea Quigley, 13th Wolfman there. Hey, it's your favorite Fred Olen Wright film? Oh, nice. 13th Wolfman was interviewed by Linnea Quigley interviewed 13th Wolfman. Linnea Quigley did a exercise tape, a horror exercise tape called Linnea Quigley's Horror Workout Video. It was like a prize thing to get as a horror collector back in the day. Now this release here of Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers has the Linnea Quigley horror workout on there. Your kid walked in, fastest time you ever hit the pause button. Dude, I got Vinegar Syndrome on my collection. Pause button, ninja is what I've had to become with Vinegar Syndrome releases. Luckily, my kids are grown now, but still, I wouldn't want to watch some of that stuff. But basically, this is the horror workout videos on here as well. Wolf Cop 2, I love Wolf Cop. I haven't seen the second one yet, but I really want to see it. And it was kind of cool if you got the first Wolf Cop movie. I almost said the kind of the fake fun name that the Trailer Park Boys who filmed their stuff here in Nova Scotia where I'm at, they actually do a promo for Wolf Cop, calling it something else. If you've seen the trailer. But the Linnea Quigley's horror workout video that's on here as a bonus feature actually has a commentary on it as well. So that's really kind of cool. So as you can see, 88 Films, the Slasher Classics collection, they're excellent releases. Some of the early ones had a little like booklets. Interviewed Chris and Ray last year. Talked about his dad making childhood Hollywood chains hookers. Nice. There's something special about the classic exploitation, guys. Something amazing. See, originally they put out like a lot of these here things that kind of remind you. How many Criterions do I have? Oh my God. Not as many as Dean. If you watch Dean the DVD, he's got a lot of Criterions, man. I was at a store this week, and I probably should have picked it up, but there was a whole row of Criterion, and there were like the early DVD out of print stuff for like around $20 each. So next time I'm in Halifax, I'm going to go to that store and check it out. They have stuff like La Strada, and I was looking for Man Bites Dog, but that wasn't there. It's a favorite of mine. If you know the film, then you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of a cool little film. Kind of absurd, but crazily cool. Speaking of absurd films that I love, Neogun Massacre. I'm a huge fan of Neogun Massacre. Turns are expensive. You have to wait for sales. Yeah, but they do have cool Criterion sales, Tim. I got 88 Films House of... I don't know if House on Sorority Row on 88 Films yet. I do have a DVD of it that came out from Scorpion Releasing. It was a 2-disc edition, and House on Sorority Row, if you guys don't know, it's one of my favorite slashers of all time. I really like the way that it's done. I love the cast on House on Sorority Row. I love the ending for House on Sorority Row. I think it's better than the... Cartoon's the one company I can say I only have one movie from. Which movie is it, 13 Wolfman? It Follows. Do I like It Follows? I did. A lot of people didn't like it. I actually did. It's very nice. I recommend it very much. I got to get it, actually, down the road. I got so much I got to pick up. Chasing Amy. I got that. Do you know where I found Chasing Amy at 13 Wolfman? I was at a dollar store, and they had a bunch of like about a handful of movies, like maybe like 20. And among those movies, for like $2, was Chasing Amy, the Criterion edition, and that's how I got it. That's like I got like, who do I like better, Arrow or Criterion? Arrow by far, and Arrow Video Arrow Academy. Chasing Amy, loved one. Chasing Amy is a great film. I love Criterion. I love the stuff that they do. They put a lot of classic stuff. Originally, Criterion weren't putting out so much classic stuff. They put stuff like RoboCop. No, it's classic films, but not in the same vein. Criterion became the company they became, in my opinion, out of necessity, because some of these other films were, honestly, they were easier to get. They were cheaper to get. And they went in early on, and they noticed the market that wasn't being fulfilled. And they became like the masters of the market. Now, that being said, I think that companies like Indicator and Arrow Academy, Criterion is doing a Blu-ray of Smithereens. Are they really? I got to check that out. I really do. Have come up and like really challenged Criterion for the title of just the classic movies. Richard Hell. But who do you guys like better, Criterion or Arrow? Do I collect anything else apart from movies? I collect retro video games, and I just started that like about a year or so ago because I had my other consoles, my new ones, and then I got my retro ones started last year. And I collect, I got some Funkos. I especially like the 8-bit Funkos. So whenever I can find those. Dorbs are cool, but I can't find enough of them around. I would like to get a collection of those, like, those kind of like, what do you call them? Kind of those retro looking, like little tiny, like figures. I have a little Arrow, but between the two, I'd pick Arrow. 13th Wolfman, you really should check out some more of the Arrow stuff. They put out some really great stuff. I'll do a video in the near future on my Arrow releases. If you don't catch it live, try and catch it. And I'm going to talk about them. Bobbleheads. I don't have a lot of bobbleheads. I just watched a Funko documentary actually 2 nights ago that they put out. It was on Netflix, and I actually might want to buy that. But they started out doing a lot of the bobbleheads and stuff like that. I do like a lot of the Funko pop releases. What's Arrow? Oh, Arrow Video. That's this here Savannah is Arrow. Retcon Ties, 13th Wolfman is exactly what I'm talking about. The documentary is pretty good. I enjoyed it. It kind of just jumps in there, but it's pretty good. This is Arrow, the company right here. They put out like a lot of like different releases. If you look behind me, see where that water bottle is at? All those there behind me, like that. There we go. That Herschel Gordon Lewis set. All those right along there, and all these titles, as you see, hand go up there. Got a fingernail. They're all Arrow releases. They put out like a ton of stuff. Nailgun Massacre. This one's fun. Buy it. It's cheesy. But they have a U.S. branch now. Yeah, they do. Savannah is actually in Australia. Those are awesome. The see-through slip boxes. I really love those. I wish they'd keep doing them. They did them for mainly horror stuff. Arrow originally did mainly horror stuff, but they've branched out. But they always had the Arrow World films. That's where I got my Claude Chabrol collection at. And the first one, I got the first volume anyway. And the Arrow Academy put it. That's where most of my Burt Lancaster films come from. I'm a huge Burt Lancaster fan. A lot of people actually don't know that, but they put out a lot of stuff like that. Music Video Distributors distributes Arrow U.S. titles. They do. Arrow as a Arrow has a branch in the U.S. I did a video. It was only about 12 minutes long. The last video I did before this one, it was a live video, and I showed on there. I bought the Reanimator Steelbook that it was an FYE exclusive actually from the U.S. that somehow managed to get into Sunrise Records. Dead of Winter. I love this movie. Hate this cover, but I do. I'm a huge fan of the Dead of Winter film. Is there a better cover on the other side? Oh, the original cover's on the other side. Had GoFundMe just so they could set up a U.S. branch. They did. MVD distributes the Arrow. Do they really? I didn't know that. MVD started their Rewind series themselves recently, haven't they? I really got to get some of those Rewind. I really want Return to Swamp Thing. That I'm a huge fan. I know it's pretty cheesy, but I'm a Swamp Thing fan, like the comic book and everything. Music Video Distributors. You know, I did not know that MVD stood for that. But MVD Rewind. Really like their stuff. Dead of Winter. This is more of a psychological thriller than a slasher, but actually it's a really cool film. It's one of those sleeper hits that I found. I want Return to Swamp Thing too. Does any of you own either the original or remake of Silent Night? I own them both. I have like 2 versions of Silent Night. So I bought the original Silent Night DVD that came from Anchor Bay. Then I rebought it because he put Silent Night and Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2 on as a double pack for like $10. And then the new one came out, and actually I had a lot of fun with that film. I had that one as well. Is Hellraiser your 4th favorite franchise? I love Hellraiser films. Maybe my 5th. I'm a huge Phantasm fan. And I know the last one was not good. I can't get the remake Silent Night here. Is it good? It's a really fun, cheesy slasher film. It really is, actually. Night Flight plus streaming seems to have some deals with MVD and Arrow US. Had them both, and the remake has Canadian cutie Jessica Cameron. Yes, it does. Gotta love that wood chipper scene. Though it's kind of cheesy where they put in the "It's garbage day" line into the film. If you've seen the second one, then you know the "It's garbage day" thing. The Boogeyman. You asked me earlier what one of the movies I wanted to see on Blu-ray is. Boogeyman 2. It's a really cheesy film. It is insanely cheesy. Somebody gets killed with like a toothbrush and toothpaste and dental floss and stuff. You have to see it. Boogerman. Boogerman actually is a fairly decent video game. Just saying, Tim. But yeah, thought the remake had a great story. Boogeyman 2 is pretty bad. It is pretty bad, but that's what's the glory of that film, is it is so bad. It is so bad. Some people aren't aware, Uli Lamo really pretty much, he didn't finance these films. What's my least favorite horror film? This Howling. Oh, God. I don't know, really. I like that a few of the Howling films. The later ones. You can forget Howling Reborn. That's pretty bad. But before I forget, you don't believe in the Boogeyman. You should. Jamie Lee Curtis' new Halloween movie. Awesomeness. Susanna Love, the star of the Boogeyman, she financed these films. She was with Yuli Lomo at the time, and she's kind of like a Harris, so that she managed to finance these. Wolf Creek. Did it get a release date? The only thing I love more than a great film is a really bad one. That's a quote. That's like quoting me. The Blank Generation movie that also started. Susanna Love did one called Prazi, by the way. You almost in like Boogeyman 2 as well. July 9th. I haven't seen the second one. I'm a huge fan of the first season of Wolf Creek. This is going to sound really bad, but only getting UK. That's where I'll get it from. I love the UK stuff. What's my favorite bad movie? Ooh. Things is pretty far up there, if on the list. I'm not sure it's my favorite one, but if you've never seen the Canadian exploitation horror movie Things, you got to see it. Oh, did you? That was John Jarrett in real life. I really like him in the films, and I like the TV series actually better than the films. I do. I like the way that they did it, especially better than part 2. But I really like the Wolf Creek TV series a lot. Very fun. He's got that about him. Like most of the Wolf Creek series, do not care for the end. Favorite bad movie, Cannibal Camp Out. You got some classics there, man. Boogeyman. Just check it out, guys. It's Yuli Lomo. He's got some decent stuff. He's done like a lot of like true crime stuff. Now, this is one that I didn't expect 80 Films to put out. It's one that I hadn't heard a lot of. And that was Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh. It's really a comedy. And there's like Tom Savini effects in it. But the thing is, when they got it, I think they got like a cut-down version a bit of the film. So some of the effects work is actually kind of cut out of the film. But actually, it's still the best version of Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh you're going to get. He's got an interview with Savini there as well. Savini is another guy that is a guy that I got to meet and I was really impressed with, especially after people told me that Savini was going to be like a horrible person to talk to, and we talked for quite a while, and he was really, really nice. Nightmare in a Damaged Brain. What are some Canadian Blu-ray companies? What do we have in Canada? I know there's E1 that did some stuff. I'm not sure if there's any that I can think of, like any real Canadian ones. Tell you what, one of these nights I'll show you some of my Canadian releases. I got like a Canadian edition of Black Christmas, which for me is the superior edition of Black Christmas that I've seen out there. I do need to get the Scream Factory one. Oh, how did you like Tom Savini movie, Mac? Did you get along with him? And the editor has the best release of the editor is actually through a Canadian company as well. I'll show that one on there as well. You're gonna love the cover. Kind of interested in Movie Max thoughts on Tom Savini. I really liked him. Warner Music of Canada did a Blu-ray. Cannibal Girls. Yeah, we talked about that one the last time. I need to get that. Don't know what else he did. Cannibal Girls is really a fun film. Nightmare on Damaged Brain. Not the best film, but I dug it. I dug it for what it was. Next up is a box set that a lot of people like kind of piss and moan about, that they put it out as a Slasher Classics collection, but some of the films in the series are slashers, and maybe this one is like one of the not so great franchises out there. Do I have a vinyl record collection? Yeah, I do. I just need to get a new record player. He seemed nice, but I was so nervous because of things I'd heard. You know what? I started out like that too. And everybody told me, oh, he's going to be like really like abrasive, and he's going to like, Nightmares, Damaged Brain was also called Blood Splash. Really? Actually, I didn't know that. This movie actually freaked me out. I just saw like scenes of it in a movie in one of those clip movies back in the day, and it had like the mass sequence, and that kind of freaked me out. Wasn't until later that I actually got to actually see the film itself. But yeah, Savani was one of those guys that was super nice, and he's really an intelligent person. He kind of introspective when he's talking, and if you like talk to him on like more than just on a really like your stuff level, then I think that it comes across better. Because I think with Savani and with some people, they hear like, "Oh, you're fantastic" a lot, and they hear like, "Oh, I love this movie and I like this," and that's fantastic. But they hear it a lot, so they really like it when you talk to them about like sometimes about their craft, or just talk to them, like ask them about like something maybe that you think that they might be proud of that not a lot of people talk about. Wikipedia listed as Blood Splash as an alternate title, and I think IMDb lists as Blood Splash. You can kind of see why. Pretty big splash of blood right there. Let's see TV show collection. Oh, my TV show collection is a whole room. Video game collection, I'll get to that one in vinyl. Yeah, what type of music do I like? I'm a huge fan of like, do I enjoy your UK TV show? You did like my UK TV shows list? I'm a huge UK TV fan. I'm from Canada, and a lot of our TV shows came from the UK. And I grew up in the 80s when a lot of TV shows were remade as like from UK editions. Mad About the House, Three's Company, for instance. The Ropers, well, was pretty much the same thing. But there was a lot of stuff like that. But thank you. Actually, I really worked hard on. I worked hard on all these videos. Worked hard on that one. This is Children of the Corn trilogy. It has the first three. And do you know what my favorite of the three of these movies are? It's not Children of the Corn. A lot of people think it's Children of the Corn. But I actually get a kick at Urban Harvest. Second one's pretty good. It's fun. It's very cheesy. But Urban Harvest, I don't know. I just like it. There's something different about it. What's next? These are ones that Savannah, especially, if you're still here, Savannah, you're going to like. One of my favorite Canadian TV shows is Being Human. That's the remake of the UK show, right? You know what one of my favorite Canadian shows was? The Edison Twins. You might have to look that up. No, I did. I grew up on stuff like that. Yeah, I knew it. Being Human was amazing. It was really good. And I did like the Canadian edition of that series as well. Some people thought it went kind of a little differently than the UK one. They didn't like that. I kind of liked them both, and I thought they both did great jobs for what they did. I think in the Canadian one they used the guy. Another one used to get BBC. Oh, did you? Edson Twin, My Secret Identity. There's actually a comic book shop here in Nova Scotia called My Secret Identity. My all-time favorite TV show is Breaking Bad. Great show. CBC. I grew up on CBC, man. I love CBC stuff. I desperately want, and most people aren't going to know what this is, King of Kensington on DVD. It was a Canadian show that I grew up watching. And I want Hanging In as well. Sleepaway Camp 2. I'm a huge fan of this series. Being Human. Disney, yes, there's a Disney team movie. This hour is 22 minutes. I'm from Newfoundland, Nova Scotia. It's you should add All in the Family and the Jefferson box set to your collection. I gotta get the Jeffersons. I think I got All in the Family. I got season. Isn't Don Cherry the hockey guy on CBC? Yes, he is. And there's like a bunch of DVDs, by the way. Don Cherry's like hockey DVDs, and he's doing this and wearing one of these like Don Cherry jackets. If you're a hockey fan, then you probably know Don Cherry. I think the best like coverage of like of hockey especially when I was growing up, was Hockey Night in Canada here in CBC. I could not watch the American coverage of hockey. They would put like little like things to show you where the puck was at. It was hilarious. But Sleepaway Camp 2, I love this Unhappy Campers. This is a really different cover for it. This girl, not in the film, though there's actually a cheaper edition of like a Sleepaway Camp that came back then, and it might have been like Jet Films or some of those other like kind of like bootleg type companies that put out an early like Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 before they actually got good releases. And one of them, when I turned it on, it had like, I heard like an audience watching Sleepaway Camp, but there was no sound for the actual film. But this is Sleepaway Camp 2. That's the cover you always see for Sleepaway Camp 2. The Scream Factory one has a different cover, kind of a cool one, and I'm sure you've seen that. I think, yeah, there's like, I have the Jeffersons on. I gotta get Leave the Beaver too. I actually used to like that show. You want to see a really cool, different cover to Sleepaway Camp 2? Is your battery okay? You're buffering on the end. Yeah, it's okay right now. This is another edition of it called Nightmare Vacation. Rank the Sleepaway Camp films. 2, 1, 3, 4. Return to Sleepaway Camp. Way down on the list. Because the lead in Return to Sleepaway Camp, horrible. Felissa Rose deserved way better than that. Bruce Springsteen's sister's in it. Yep. Bruce Springsteen's sister, Pamela Springsteen, unfortunately, doesn't like talking about the Sleepaway Camp films anymore. She's a photographer, like a really big photographer now, and I actually really admire her photographic work. I wish she would talk about it. She was so good in those films. And everybody will know. Charlie Sheen's sister's in it. Yeah, Renee Estevez is in it. Actually, it's got a pretty good cast. And if you watch Sleepaway Camp 2 again, you're also going to notice that not only is Renee Estevez in it, but listen to the names of the characters. The Brat Pack names are actually used in the Sleepaway Camp 2 film as the characters. Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. Not as good as the second one. It's a fun film, and I did enjoy it for what it is, and I do go back and watch it over and over again. I've got a huge... You know what? I'm going to... The Sleepaway Camp franchise is... This is going to seem like sacrilege, but it's almost up there. Like, with the Nightmare one for me, it's like, you're a close third. Because I really do enjoy these films. I think Felissa Rose did amazing in the first one. I think that Pamela Springsteen was incredible in 2 and 3. I don't know how part 4 would have worked out. It never really got finished. And Return to Sleepaway Camp was really bad. But 3 more months until Halloween. I know, I really want to see that movie. Just before, what I'd say is start watching the Halloween films again, like the originals, and go backwards. Instead of going from first, go backwards. That way, the last one you see is the first one, and the first one's what they're going from. Not sure if you know this, but Mike Sorrentino from Jersey Shore is a brother of Frank. Actually, no, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool, actually. Honestly, not surprised. I was sick. When I was going to college, my last time in college, when I was doing like a business, I got sick one week and had to stay home. And they had like on demand, they had the Jersey Shore, and I just watched the whole thing. I can't believe I did that. You'll watch the trailer reactions for Halloween 2018. I like trailer reactions, actually. I don't watch a lot of them. Like, some people can have their whole channels about like on reaction videos, and I couldn't do that. But Aaron live streams watching New Halloween in theaters. I would be looking, from the looks of it, I'd be freaked out on a few scenes from that one, and I think they kicked me out of the theater. Scalps, again, this is one that I wanted to come out for ages. It finally came out. Movies that I want on Blu-ray that I don't have. Sweet 16. I think Code Red put it out. I still don't have that. One of these days I'll get it. And there's like Just Before Dawn is another one I really like. But Scalps is it's a fun little film. Not for everybody, but I enjoyed it. Here's one that I really liked, and this is the alternate cover for it. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. Drive-In Massacre. Now, anybody here see this one? It's different, and the ending is kind of wonky, a bit slow. Like 8 films Blu-ray set. I don't actually. I wish I did. I want to get it. There's a lot that I want to pick up. It's just that recently, the move, sick cat. It's been like kind of like a tight time, and with kids coming out, going to university and stuff. But hopefully, I'm just going to start picking stuff up slowly. And my better half's going to pick up some stuff for me like throughout the months coming in up to Christmas, so that I can have kind of like an epic Christmas haul, hopefully. So fingers crossed that actually works out. But Drive-In Massacre, this is actually a very different cover for it. It's the guy that did it actually was I think it was a cop. before, and that's why this plays very much like a pretty good police procedural, to be honest with you. And it does like a great job of it. It's but it can make it look real slow. Cheap public domain copy of Driver Massacre, but I do own the Severin authorized Blu-ray. Nice. And we're getting stuff from me. I cannot wait to find out what I'm going to get for you, Movie Mac, actually. Still needs Sweet 16, another one. Hard Rock Zombies, yeah. Is that getting a Blu-ray release? I'll have to watch the rest of the stream tomorrow. Good streaming. Thank you for all the information. Thanks for coming. Reality is an illusion. I hope to see you on the next stream. I'll look forward to it, and really, really loved all your comments and questions. Studebaker looks awesome on the cover. Yeah. Good night from Wisconsin. Stu Siegel did Drive Massacre on CB Hustlers, yeah. This Studebaker, is this even in the film? I can't remember. I remember enjoying the film way more than I thought I would. And last but not least is the Drive-In Classics collection. One of the ones I'm most proud to have. A great guy on here got this for me, sent it to me. He knew that I wanted it. It's out of print now. Yeah. Studebaker, I think you're right. I think it is in it. I gotta watch that movie again. Blood Harvest. Super stoked to have Blood Harvest. If you've watched my my recent videos, you saw me when I did this, when I did an unboxing and I showed this one. Tiny Tim is in this one. He plays Marvelous Mervo, and it's just one that's that really stuck with me. One that I always wanted on Blu-ray. That I never thought was going to get a Blu-ray release, and when it did, it got a release for 3 days, and then it got taken off. And then just like what was out there already got sold out, but they got in trouble for they got some rights issues. I guess they had to dive a bit more into it. But they thought they had the rights to it, and they put it out, and they put it one with the slipcover, and they were getting all ready to do a big push for Blood Harvest, and then they had to stop it. They actually had some going up on eBay, hoping to sell off some. eBay stopped it as well, and stopped them from doing that. I guess Diabolique DVD were allowed to sell the ones that they had, because it was merchandise that they'd already bought. I'm not sure how that went, but Blood Harvest was one of those kind of like modern movies. When you think about like people talk about digital, Fred Olen and I think Bill Rebane are fighting over the rights to Blood Harvest. Bill Rebane, is Bill Rebane Code Red's Bill, or the guy that likes to say Canadians steal his films? Ken, welcome. Okay. Just making sure. Ken recently got the Sartana set. Bill Rebane says, it's the director. Okay. So, I know VCI put out an edition of Blood Harvest as well, didn't they? So, and that's kind of the edition that's out right now. Like, that's the legit edition. Giant Spider Invasion. I love that film. And you know, I'm arachnophobic, but Giant Spider Invasion I can actually dig. And Blood Harvest, yeah. Giant Spider Invasion is one of those that I really dig. I haven't shipped your movie yet. I got you because I'm waiting for a reply through email. Okay, I'll check on that email. Watch Alone in the Dark. Okay. You didn't like Alone in the Dark, Ken? Come on. It's a favorite of mine. Did you notice that they used like a Jason in the film, in that in the dream-like sequence? Hey Jesse, how's it going? These guys try and put a Blood Harvest via Bill Rebane like they did. Yeah, they put out a really good edition, Giant Spider Invasion. They had a comic book and everything with it. Yeah, the Jays. That's kind of, come on. I mean, it's kind of cool. And you got Jack Palance and Martin Landau. Came out same year as Friday 3. I think so. I remember the first time I saw it, and there was that sequence in Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark is actually, you're gonna hate this, Ken. It's actually a favorite of mine. It's a good but a bad screenplay. Yeah, but I think it works because of the actors that are in it. Like I think Alone in the Dark wouldn't have worked so well, but Palance, Pleasance, and Landau, but films, but they're so good. It's not the perfect. It's definitely slower, but like this, seeing Jason and I'm a huge, you guys. I'm a huge Donald Pleasance fan. I have such tremendous adoration. Blood Harvest came in '87. Yeah. I think with Friday 13th, and they're talking about Friday 13th 3 and Alone in the Dark. And I think those came out around the same time. I think Alone in the Dark came out in 82, maybe, or was it 83? Jack Shoulder did it. I'm pretty sure it was Jack Shoulder who did The Hidden and stuff like that. You can't beat Sleepaway Camp series. You like Sleepaway Camp ones? I know you. Those are awesome. Not only do I got the Scream Factories as well, because I just love Sleepaway Camp. And I watch them over and over again. The Hidden, exactly. The Hidden, I love The Hidden too. Did you see The Hidden too? You see that? Remember everything but The Hidden? Forget it, because Hidden 2 totally does. Forgets everything but The Hidden. There are so many, like, really cool things out there right now. The Sartana set was one that I wanted. The It's Alive trilogy. Savannah, I'm not going to forget to respond to your email. I'm going to do that. Just watch me forget. I'm going to. Sleepaway Camp 1, 2 are great. 3, I swept. See, I originally thought the same as you, Ken. I originally loved Sleepaway Camp 1 and 2. Hated Part 3. However, I've grown to like it. The more I watch it, and especially if I watch 2 and 3 together. 2 is for me, 2 is the highest quality Sleepaway Camp series I ever got. They use some great actors in it, and if you guys watch my channel a bit, you're probably going to know that I was a soap opera fan. I watched a lot of like soap operas back in the day, and when I was going to be an actor, Sartana said, oh, yeah, that's going to be cool. Collection. That one of the actors from Sleepaway Camp 2 is in, it was from a soap opera. Actually, he did a couple soap operas, but I knew him mostly playing Grant Putnam as the bad guy on General Hospital. Actually, there was two, like there's kind of like twin type characters that he played. He's played a psycho in a couple of different like soap operas. What was really cool about it, and what kind of struck my attention, is that I'm an epileptic, and the character was poisoning, like knocking his wife out so he could go out and do like secret spy missions with phenobarbital, which is actually the pill that I take. So that stood out for me when I was a kid. I was like, oh, somebody's using phenobarbital on TV. That's kind of cool. The name of a movie where girls are on a beach and the sand drags them down. Blood Beach. You're talking about Blood Beach, Savannah. And that's one that I think 13th Wolfman said that he's really wants to see come out on Blu-ray. It's not out yet. The cover of Blood Beach actually is a girl like kind of being sucked into sand, and it's a fun little film, very cheesy. Last House on the Left, oh, yeah, so brutal. Blood Beach, yeah, that's it's that easy. It is Blood Beach. Needs to put it. Oh, Vinegar Syndrome should put up Blood Beach. Did you guys see the recent release from Vinegar Syndrome that's coming out? I got to mention this because I'm a huge anthology fan, and this is one that I kind of dig. So I got to. I'm epileptic since 3. I'm epileptic since the age of 3, and when I was 12 years old, they told me that I was cured. They were wrong, and I went through a time of a month in the hospital, having seizure after seizure, while was tied to a bed, while they were trying to figure out what medication to use for me. None of the medications worked. Phenobarb kind of did, but didn't work all the time. I went to see my doctor. They really didn't know. They thought it was just one of those people who's going to have seizure after seizure. There was a new pill at the time called Debicaine, or valproic acid is one of the other names for it. When it came out, it was pretty much it was just so new that he'd gotten it in his office, and it was in like those blister packs. So they gave that for me to try. It was kind of a last-ditch attempt, and it worked. Sunday in the Country with Borgnine tonight. Not a slasher, more of a thriller. Disappointed with it? I haven't really seen it a lot. I love Borgnine. Borgnine is a beast of an actor. He's a fantastic actor. But here we go. Got to see this, guys. Not for everybody, but it's the Vinegar Syndrome that I want. House of the Dead. What is it lately? Since you were 2.5? See? Great minds. Got to pre-order it. You do? I got to get it. So, yeah, you're epileptic too, 30th Wolfman. Yeah, it's Pills as well. I think phenobarbital and valproic acid or Depakote. I just typed in Blood Beach on eBay and it's coming up with the exact picture you had in my mind. James, welcome. Yeah, so I'll be buying that tonight. It's good. Blood Beach is kind of a fun one. The Sartana set you guys mentioned, I really like the cover. Never seen the movie though. You know what? Recently, a couple of the Vinegar Syndrome covers have looked suspiciously similar to other covers. Blood Theater I really want as well. Grave Robbers too. What level of awfulness are those? Actually, Blood Theater is Mary Warnoff. And here's the thing. I've got like a special thing for Mary Warnoff. Buddies is depressing, actually. I'm passing up on that one. I'm probably not getting Buddies. But I've got a weak spot for Mary Warnoff, so I'm not a good person to ask about Blood Theater because I'm going to give it like rave reviews, no matter what, because Warnoff's in it. So as for the other one, Grave Robbers, I hear it's a good comedy, but I haven't seen it. I don't know if I've seen it or if I haven't seen it in a long time. It's good. Either way, I'm not the person to run. But I think that's one deals with AIDS. Yeah, it is, I think. And that's an important thing to deal with. I grew up in the time when that was like a big deal, when we didn't know a lot about it, when there's a lot of misconceptions and fear and all the stuff that went on. And in order to keep my video from getting depressing, we'll stop it there, but Buddies is going to be a depressing film. What I was saying before is that movie... Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. It's going to take me a second. Behind the magic. The cover reminds me a little bit of The Legend of Hell House. What changing am I getting? Severin or Second Sight? Second Sight will look amazing. I got to go Second Sight, Ken. Severin, I really do like Severin. I love the stuff that they do. Hell House. Now look at the Hell House cover. Look at that cover and tell me there's not a bit of similarity there. Look forward to part 4 of I Spit on Your Grave. I can't wait for that. Is there a part 4 coming out? I didn't know that, actually. Oh, you mean kind of like the sequel to the original Spit on Your Grave that they're doing now? That is suspiciously similar. Yes. Actually, there's a couple. If you look at like the October releases, did you see that Vinegar Syndrome is releasing 2 more volumes of those films? Yes, actually, I wanted to talk. Thanks, James. I actually wanted to mention that. They are coming out with the last 2 volumes for the... let me bring it up here. You guys know I'm a fan of Vinegar Syndrome, and I do like to talk about their stuff. So 2 more volumes 3 and 4 of 5 films, 5 years. These are the last 2 volumes. So the first one is the Golden Age Erotica, and this is volume 3. It's right here. As you see, it looks just like the other one. I didn't think it was a part. It's more of a follow-up to the original. Yeah, it is actually. Mears is making with Camille Keaton, and she looks amazing, by the way. Still, you know somebody that looks amazing, and I'm not sure if Danny Wolfman interviewed her or not, but Lynn Lowry. If you ever interview Lynn Lowry, please give my regards. I'm an extremely huge fan of hers. Her and Shivers is like makes my heart stop. This one has Dracula Sucks, which by the way is actually a good film. We're going to get her on. Excellent. I want to see that. I'm gonna listen to that. I'm a huge fan of her. So definitely let her know that I'm actually a fan. Mention my name. Does 2 things well. One of them is Fly. Miss Magnificent looks hilarious. Sugar Cookies. Vinegar Syndrome interview Lynn. I got to get Sugar Cookies. I really want that. I keep going to get it. Thanks. I actually will really appreciate that. She's on my... we share, she's liked my Instagram stuff. She messaged me on there. And that was really sweet of her. So, we got 5 films here. Dracula Sucks, which actually is a fairly decent one. I've seen Cannibal Farm. I'm not sure. Corporate Assets, another good film. Vixens on Kung Fu, my dad actually has that. The Jamie Gillis is actually kind of cool. Tropic of Desires, Bob Chan, anything Bob Chan is good. Now, these are erotic films, by the way, so just know that. And Baby Rosemary is a classic as well with John Hayes. But they do have an exploitation ones for people that don't like those type. Can't wait to see her in the comments of the next stream. I would love to see that, actually. Lynn Lowry showing up on this would so geek out. The second one has Cry Wilderness. It's a Bigfoot movie. If you watch the recent Mystery Science Theater series that came out, the reboot, James is going to know all about this. Cry Wilderness is one of the ones that's coming out on Blu-ray. Vampire Hookers is one of my favorite cheesy movies. John Hayes, the guy behind Grave of the Vampire. Grave of the Vampire. This is James Hayes. He's actually on here right now. Good friend and some softcore adult. I like Grave of the Vampire a lot. Speaking of which, John Hayes' Cutthroat is going to be one of the films on here. It was a limited edition DVD for a while, and I got it. And I'm actually a really big fan of Cutthroat. A lot of people didn't like it. It didn't get picked up for a lot. Death Game. The original, yes, thank you. The original Knock Knock I really want. Cry Wilderness is hilarious. It is the best. It is. As I was watching Cry Wilderness, I looked at like my family that were around me and said, "This is the classic of the new series. This is the pod people of the new one." I've geeked out many times. The few actors sat down to Kelly Maroney, Night of the Comets. She did amazing Night of the Comets. Fantastic film. Evil Come, Evil Go, and Teenage Seductress. So actually a pretty good one. Teenage Seductress got kind of a Knock Knock feel to it. I'm a big fan of the movie, the original Knock Knock movie, and I'm a big fan of like the remake that was done with. A lot of people didn't like it. I did. I honestly watched that episode 3 times. I did that one at least twice because I rewatched it with my cousin. My cousin's coming out here on July 4th actually, and I'm actually really excited about that. So we're going to get together and do some stuff. I'm hoping he's shy. I'm hoping to get him on camera, but I'm not sure if I will be able to do that. Guys, it is 2:30, and Eli Roth's Knock Knock. Yeah, I did like it. See, 13th Wolfman liked it as well. It's way better than people give it credit for. I like the original a little bit better, but Keanu Reeves did a great job too. So, guys, with that, I've had a blast talking to you guys tonight. This one went almost 90 minutes long. My battery stayed. The 4th set of 5 films feels out of place with Cry Wilderness, not horror. It's a good one, though. It's a really good one. It's a different type of film. But I got a sick kitty cat to bring to a vet early in the morning. So thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you all for joining me tonight. As usual, more than likely, I'm going to be doing a video on Saturday. If you guys want to come in and hang with me there, I'll theme it like I did here. And as always, we'll kind of go off of Thanks Policeman, fantastic, James, 13th Wolfman, everybody, all you guys, Jesse, Tim, Movie Mac. Thanks. It's me too. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Thanks for the good wishes on the cat. And a little better. I hope the cat was. Yeah, I do like both Knock Knocks, but the original is a little better because those actresses, they're really good. And guys, it's always a blast. Talk to you guys soon. Before I get it might do better that way. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great evening.